A basketball prodigy from Melbourne, Australia, Ben Simmons was a high school phenom at Montverde Academy in Florida. Anointed as a future NBA star before he arrived on LSU's campus for the 2015-2016 season. Sixers fans kept an eye on Baton Rouge to help ease the pain of a 10-72 season, dreaming of pairing Simmons with Joel Embiid as twin pillars of the process. That dream could become reality if the ping pong balls bounced their way in the 2016 NBA Draft Lottery.
The second pick will be made by the Los Angeles Lakers, and that means that the #1 pick in the 2016 NBA Draft goes to the Philadelphia 76ers.
The Sixers had Simmons and other top prospects in for pre-draft workouts, but their choice at #1 was a foregone conclusion when Adam Silver stepped to the mic on draft night.
With the first pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ben Simmons from Melbourne, Australia, and Louisiana State University.
I think the city of Philadelphia, the fans are going to be extremely pleased with what they see out of Ben for the next, hopefully the next decade plus. But this is a great starting point for this new evolution, or this stage of evolution of this franchise.
At the time, it seemed like Simmons, rather than Joel Embiid, might emerge as the marketable face of the franchise. Embiid had yet to play an NBA game, and Simmons was already a known commodity in the basketball world.
Yo, Carl, nice gear. Foot Locker?
No doubt.
So any advice now that I've been drafted?
Getting drafted doesn't mean a thing. Now the real work starts. This isn't college. This is a grown man's league. Tell him, Devin.
That's right. Nothing comes easy anymore.
Anything else I should know, D'Angelo?
Got a phone? Trust me.
His first summer league only heightened the expectations for stardom. Though his jump shot had been non-existent at LSU, he showed immediate improvement and promised to keep working on his only discernible weakness as a player.
How much of a concerted effort did you make tonight to shoot it that way?
Made it a point. I was going to come out and shoot jumpers, and I did that. I think I was stepping out of my comfort zone, but that's how you grow.
Simmons would have to wait to make good on those words. A broken foot during training camp and a subsequent surgery led to Simmons missing the entire 2016-17 season. While Simmons sat, Joel Embiid showed the potential for greatness in his rookie season. Entering the 2017-2018 campaign, the promise of Simmons and Embiid leading a talented young roster gave the Sixers legitimate playoff hopes after 4 straight seasons of losing 50-plus games. Before that season even began, Brett Brown tried to squash the idea that Simmons would need to add a three-point shot to succeed in the NBA.
You all would think, oh, he's got to shoot threes. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to do that right now. It will come in time. But we all see, I coach Tony Parker, look at, Jay Kidd, look at John Wall, look at Chris Paul. It takes time. And so the mistake that we would all make would be to come in and say, oh, he's got to come in and, really be a three-point shooter next year. No, he doesn't. What's most important for him is his ability to finish and his ability to make a free throw.
Right out of the gates, Simmons proved he could impact winning on the NBA level, jumper or no jumper.
I dare say a confident Ben Simmons from about, 15 feet away. Behind the back, he's got company. Nowitzki back and slamming in the face of the future Hall of Famer is Ben Simmons. Rimmed it. Simmons somehow put it back.
The Sixers won 52 games during the 2017-2018 season, a 24-win improvement over the previous season. Simmons averaged 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, and went on to win NBA Rookie of the Year honors. He was dominant in his first playoff series against the Miami Heat, averaging 18 points, 10 boards, and 9 assists. But the glaring hole in his game was exposed in the second-round loss to Boston, when the Celtics' strategy of building a wall in front of Simmons caused him to struggle, including a 1-point performance with 5 turnovers in Game 2.
There's been candid conversation. He understands that his world will become a lot easier once that becomes a part of his game.
I think it just takes time shooting the ball. Obviously, I'm very good at getting to the rim and making plays, so that's what they were trying to stop me from doing, and they did a good job of doing that. But you know, it's one of those things where you just want to improve your game and get better. And then once you start hitting the shots, they change up their defense, so everything has a counter.
Simmons improved in many areas in his second season, lifting his scoring average to almost 16.5 points and leading the NBA with over 2 steals per game on the way to his first All-Star selection. That season also saw a major roster shakeup, with Dario Saric and Robert Covington shipped out and Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris brought in. As Butler took on more of the ball-handling duties in the half-court offense, Simmons' inability to make perimeter shots relegated him to screening and rolling, or setting up in the dunker spot. In the second-round series loss to Toronto, Simmons scored 10 points or fewer 4 times in 7 games, and only attempted 5 shots in the crushing Game 7 loss, leading to more questions about how the lack of a jump shot has hindered his effectiveness.
Are you okay with your point guard not shooting a 15-footer?
I wished he would. Like, if I'm sitting in front of you and he's 26, I think the conversation would probably be a little bit more disingenuous. But I stand by that this isn't going to be the thing that defines him immediately. It will at some point, for sure.
Simmons returned to his on-ball role in the following season as Butler went to Miami in a sign-and-trade deal. And after an offseason filled with videos of Simmons working on his shooting form, he went to training camp with hopes of finally adding a perimeter jump shot to his game.
It just changes the dynamic of the game and the way guys have to guard you. So, you know, once I get into a rhythm and feel comfortable, I think it will change a lot of things. Actions
speak louder than words. And in the 14th game of his 3rd NBA season, Simmons finally showed what everyone had been waiting to see.
Simmons, yes! He did it! Ben Simmons, hold me back! Maybe now they'll finally leave him alone after that. He hits the three, his first in his NBA career.
2.5 weeks later, Simmons made another 3 in a blowout over Cleveland, leading Brett Brown to issue a challenge to his all-star point guard.
This is what I want, okay? You can pass this along to his agent, his family, and his friends, and to him. I want a 3-point shot a game, minimum. I'm looking at a 23-year-old young man trying to grow his game. It's completely, first, in his wheelhouse, and secondly, he will be liberated. His world will open up, and I think in many ways so will ours.
Instead of heeding his coach's advice, Simmons did the exact opposite, attempting 0 3-point shots for the rest of the season, excluding end-of-the-quarter heaves. A month after laying down the gauntlet to Simmons, Brett Brown had to admit defeat.
Evidently, I have failed, and it's something that we're all mindful of, and this is one of these things that is never going to go away. The attention that this has received is remarkable, but I guess I help fuel it, and you know, I own it. Like, I got to help him, you know, find this, and most importantly, he has
There were warning signs. Simmons averaged career lows in scoring and assists and shot just 53% from the free throw line after the All-Star break. Both the Wizards and Hawks had such little regard for his free throw shooting that they employed the hack-a-bin strategy in the playoffs. Simmons was unable to make opposing coaches pay for that tactic, shooting just 34% from the free throw line in the playoffs, the worst mark in a single postseason in NBA history. Who knows how much those free throw struggles affected him against Atlanta, but Simmons did not attempt a fourth quarter shot in the final 4 games of that second round loss to the Hawks. Perhaps the enduring image of this series is Simmons passing up a dunk with 3 minutes to go in Game 7, instead passing to Matisse Thybulle, who was fouled and go 1 for 2 at the free throw line. For Joel Embiid, that moment may have been the last straw in his on-court partnership with Simmons.
I thought the turning point was just, we had an open shot, and we made one free throw, and we missed the other, and then they came down and scored. I ain't shoot well from the line this series. Offensively, I wasn't there. I ain't doing enough for my teammates. There's a lot of things I need to work on.
Doc, you think Ben Simmons can still be a point guard for a championship team like the one you guys want to become?
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now. So I don't know the answer to that.
The Simmons story morphed into a full-blown soap opera this offseason. Simmons initially requested a trade and refused to report to training camp, only showing up at the team facility to avoid being fined. Doc Rivers kicked Simmons out of practice on October 19th, and Simmons was suspended for conduct detrimental to the team.
I just thought it was a distraction today. I didn't think he wanted to do what everybody else was doing. And it was early, it wasn't a big deal. I just told him he should leave then. Every day, every single moment, I'm going to give Ben a chance to join the team and be part of the team. He's under contract to be part of the team, and so that's not going to change.
2 days after Simmons was kicked out of practice, Sixers president of basketball operations, Daryl Morey, joined the Mike Missinelli show, and he made clear that he would not be bullied into a quick trade by Simmons or anyone else.
The reality is this guy is a multi-time All-Star. This is a very good player. And to give ourselves the best chance to win the title, you need difference makers. You don't need role players. People should buckle in. I mean, this is going to go a long time. If we can trade Ben Simmons for a difference maker, we will do it. I think that's best for everyone in this situation.
Ultimately, Ben Simmons was confounding, a generational talent with potentially a fatal flaw. A 3-time All-Star who was deadly to opponents in the open court and occasionally inhibited his own team in the half court. Will a change of scenery unlock his potential? There are plenty of chapters left to be written. But as Simmons himself said nearly 5 years ago at the beginning of his NBA journey, he is the one most responsible for charting his own destiny.
Potential, yeah, to one of those words, go down or up, so there's a lot of potential, but I just got to put in the work and see what happens, honestly. There's a lot of things that people can say, but if I don't put in the work in, it's not going to mean anything.